Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Welcome back to the Right Mentality. On today's episode, this is our Friday. I know y'all ready for the weekend, so let's hop into it. Today's episode, we have a special guest by the name of Miosha. On today's episode, we will be discussing what is mental health to you. Now, for me, mental health, I've been in the mental health field for a couple of years now, and there are some things that I understand, and there are a lot of things that I don't understand. So, being in the mental health field today, let's ask Miss Miosha, what is mental health to you, ma'am?
Mental health to me.
I'm
So it's
sorry.
not.
Give me one. I apologize. Introduce yourself to the people. My bad. I'm hopping into it too quick. Introduce yourself.
Hello, you all. My name is Miosha Quinn. I am originally from Iowa. I'm currently living in Georgia. I just recently got out the military, the Marine Corps to be exact, after 8 years. So I'm embarking this new journey of healthy mindset, finding myself again. So that within itself is a form of mental health.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Good to know. I thought about the military one time, but I kind of punked out at the end. But it's all good. It ain't for everybody. So yeah, what is mental health to you?
Mental health. So we all know about our physical health. That's the physical aspect, the outer aspect.
Mhm.
But when you speak of mental health, we're speaking about internally, our mentality, the way we think, the way we see ourselves, the way other people see us. It's all internally to me anyway.
Okay. I get that because, like you said, the physical health part. Now, for me, I'm big on the physical part because, like, I work out. My friends tell me to stop, but I kind of work out like Monday through Saturday. And I feel like if a day goes by and I don't work out, I'll feel some kind of way. So I feel like my mental health is affected because I'll feel like as if I let myself down for that day. So in a sense, that's mental health, but everybody can't see it the way you and I see it that way. So
Right.
I would say mental health for me is, looking at things from a different aspect to try to find out what's actually going on with you, what's going on with your mind, your physical body, because all of it's intertwined together. And to understand how the mind works, will understand how the body works. So, just that whole, and mental health is a very broad field today because the way I look at it, being a African American man today in the mental health field, I get pat on my back quite often because they're like, you know what you're getting into. Was you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Not really, but I feel we're needed. We are very much needed because I used to be I guess a detention officer with juveniles or whatever. And it was mainly minority children in there, and they would all look up to me as if I'm a father figure to them because they never had, or not never, but they didn't really have a father figure in their life. So, to put all of that together and to do what I'm doing, hey, but I see you. I saw your IG, you out there rocking, you be putting in that work now. Like I can't get
I
on that
have
level.
to.
Yeah.
I have to.
So how often do you go?
Your physical aspect. I try to work out 5 times a week.
Okay, we on the same level. Okay.
Because as you mentioned, like if you don't work out, you don't really feel good. But working out and that physical fitness ties along with your mental fitness.
Absolutely.
So it pretty much goes hand in hand. You feel good, you look good, you're thinking good. So
very true, very true. And I mean, just to think about that, a lot of people want to look good, but at the same time they don't feel good, or they feel good but they don't look good. So I try to find out the reasoning behind all of that stuff, but it's an everyday battle. So now let me ask you, mental health, would you say it's a difference in a man's mental health versus a woman's mental health?
Um, yeah, because we're different, you know. A man's mentality and a woman's mentality is different. We
Mhm.
both go through stressors, but we go through different stressors. I mean, we have the same stressors, but you know, we're separate. So man goes through what they go through, and women go through what they go through, the pressure of the world, the pressure of society.
Yeah.
So within itself, I do believe that it's different, you know, but
Okay.
it's something that we all need to work on together, but
Yeah.
separately.
Okay. So when you say work on together, tell me what you mean,
Mhm.
how men and women can work on our mental health together. Because I mean, we all got different problems. So to
Right.
say a woman, now this is my opinion, but I'm gonna just say it is, I get the backlash later, but women are more emotional than men are
Okay.
in today's society. So just to understand that. Now, it's not to say men don't have emotions, but when it comes to when something hurt us, we rather just shake it off and keep it moving. Now we'll put it in the back of our mind, but we'll shake it off and keep it
Mhm.
moving. Versus a woman, how can we work together for that, ma'am?
Okay, so men, I mean, I can't really speak much on men because I'm a woman,
Okay.
but what I've experienced just being in the military and having my friends and, you know, different friendships and relationships, I realized that obviously women are, well, some women are brought up to be more verbal, like emotionally, to be in tune with themselves emotionally,
Yeah.
and men aren't. So women have the emotional side and men are more logical than women. That's what they say, right?
Okay.
But
That's yeah.
that doesn't mean that men still don't feel, they don't feel what they feel. You know, just because y'all
Yeah.
don't say anything doesn't mean it makes that emotion disappear. So when I mean that, you know, we need to come together, women have to realize, like, you know, it's okay for men to be emotional, you know, and men these days are becoming like they're speaking up more, and but women aren't used to that.
Yes.
So when I say work
Yes.
together, you know, women need to realize, like, hey, it's okay for this man, you know, to have these emotions. Be that safe space for him to open up. And then vice
Mhm.
versa. Men realize, like, yeah, you know, we call y'all emotional and everything like that, but that doesn't make your emotions invalid, if that makes sense. So just working
Yeah.
as a team and realizing, like, hey, you're human, you have a right to feel the way that you feel, and vice versa, you're human as well. So let's see how we can communicate, you know, this situation, and let's see how we can work it out. So that's what I mean when I say that we need to just work together.
Listen. I don't know who could have said it better, okay? Because that right there, you just laid it out. So like how you just brought all of that out for us to just come together and work together. Like I love that because how you said as a man, it's not that we don't have emotions and they don't, they don't fade away. They're
Mhm.
still there. It's not that, you as women aren't not seeing our emotions and our feelings and stuff like that. It's just we don't show it. But yes, like you said, today a lot more men are speaking up. A lot more men are actually telling how they feel and expressing their emotions. Now, for me, I'll tell you like this. I had a situation one time where I had so many things happen to me in one day, just one. My car ran out of gas on the highway. I'm an hour late to work. Uh, get to the
Mhm.
gas station. Car broke down after I put gas in the car. Finally get the car working. I get back home to get my work shirt because I forgot my work shirt. Get out the car. Phone drops face on the ground, cracks the whole screen. Like boom, boom, boom. It was so much. It hit me so hard that I just broke down
Mhm.
crying. Like I was trying to hold it together, but I just couldn't.
Right.
So would you say from a woman's perspective, is it okay for a man to
Mhm.
cry?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I so for myself, like, I'm a huge advocate for mental health.
Mhm.
And that stems from what I've been through, you know, my childhood trauma, military, and all that. Like, I'm an advocate for mental health. Like, I wasn't always like this. But when I realized like, hey, you know what I'm saying? It's okay to analyze yourself. It's okay to, you know, have the thoughts you have as long as you address them. So I say that to say that men, it's okay for men to cry. You know, some men haven't cried in years because they don't have that safe space.
Yes.
But I want to let all the men know that is hearing this, that it is okay to cry. It is completely normal to cry. It doesn't make you weak. You know what I'm saying? I've been to therapy, and my therapist told me, like, when you have those emotions, that lets you know that you are alive. So it's okay to feel. You feel. It's all right. So
I like that.
It's okay.
I like that. It's fellas. Every man, it's okay to cry. Okay, let it out.
Cry.
You know?
You need to get it out. Like,
I mean, to me,
get it all out.
I feel like, so I had a student one time at the detention center, and he came up to me one day. He's like, Mr. Wright, what does it mean when you just can't cry? And I was like, what do you tell me what you mean? He was like, I think he was like 14, 15 years old. He was like, I lost my mama, lost my grandma, I'm locked up, I just can't cry. And I was like, let me explain something to you, young fella. One day it will come out, okay? Because I feel like that leads into mental health disorders.
Right.
So when you hold things in like that and you don't release it, it's gonna build up to be something worse. So what I do right now as a therapist, as a counselor, and working with the kids that I work with today, just listening to their stories, it builds up. I can see how much worse it's going to be with what you got going on. So in the mental health field, like I said, I told him, I said, let's just let it out. Like, if you want me to let you go in your room for a second and just put your face in your pillow, let it out. Because for me as a man, I'm going to cry. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. It'll be some days if I'm in the gym on the treadmill thinking about something, I'm gonna just, it could be sweat though, just I'm crying, but it's sweat, but hey, it's okay to cry. But at the same time, let's say you're in a relationship with a man and that man feels as if, I gotta be that, I gotta be him. I can't let her see me. I can't let her see me like this. How would you make your partner feel that it's okay to cry in front of you? Because as a man, we do not want y'all as our woman to see us weak.
Right. And that's when I said earlier that, us women have to work together and realize that you have to give that man that safe space, that safe place, realizing that, he's human too, and he doesn't have to be, the protector all the time. And even if you are a protector, protectors have emotions too. You can be emotional. So me personally, I'm a huge observer. So if I'm in a relationship, I'm going to learn my man. Like, I'm going to observe my man. I'm going to realize, like, hey, something is off today. And I'm just going to make him feel like, hey, it's okay. I'm a verbalize that, I'm going to verbalize that, and my actions are going to follow along with that. Like, hey, it's okay to cry. You can talk to me about anything you want to talk to me about. Just creating that safe space. So when he's comfortable enough to come to you, he'll come to you if you create that safe space for him. So
that is very, very true. And at the same time, we as men got to create that safe space as well, because we as people, we all go through stuff. We all go through stuff. So as a man, I want to make it a safe space for my partner as well to say, hey, whatever you've been through, I still want to let you know that you can come to me, you can talk to me. It may take you some time, because you got to get used to me. You got to understand where the safe space is. But I want to let you know, boom, you can come to me, talk to me whenever you feel like it. But like I said, we both, like you said, working together. You create that safe space, I create that safe space, and we all can come together and work this out. Love it. Okay. Now.
And another thing I want to mention. You said that somebody came up to you, or you were talking to someone, and they said that, they haven't cried in a long time.
Yeah.
So naturally, what our body does is try to, like, it it alarms your body, your mind. So like, hey, this thing is going to hurt you. So let me try to put it behind you and not let you feel the pain. So that's why I always tell people, like, when they go through something, when you know that's going to hurt you, or when you're expecting that pain, just feel it. Like, it's okay to feel it, because naturally our body, our mind is going to try to, make it go away, but it's not going to go away forever. It's just going to, put it behind your mind for a little bit. So
Absolutely.
That's why I tell all my friends, like, hey, if you feel something, it's okay to feel that, but truly feel it. Listen to that, analyze it, and realize why you're feeling that. Why did that trigger you so much? And that'll help in the long run, because you're conscious of your emotion. You have emotional intelligence. So yeah.
I like that. Analyze it. Yeah, you gotta get every aspect of it. It's like, to me, I feel like you gotta pull different pieces out of it to like understand, like, okay, I'm feeling like this right now. Let me understand why. How did I get to this place to feel like this? So like, to me, I feel like the word depression. So the word depression, to me, I remember I watched a video with Jim Carrey, and he said depression is, you break it apart, deep rest. So deep rest, your body needs to rest in order to get over that depression. So like, we run, we rip, we do this, we do that, we go and adult all day long. But when do you actually allow your body and your mind to rest, to detox from everything in this world, from adulting, society, kids, pets, anything? Just like, detox from yourself. But we don't give ourselves enough time to do that. So would you say you go into a deep rest?
So I don't know if I told you, I'm going to school for psychology myself. And recently, I'm gonna be a psychologist. But recently, in my studies, it mentioned that depression. So if you don't allow yourself that rest, if you don't give yourself that time to heal, guess what? Your body is going to go into depression. And people see depression as bad, but depression is your body telling you, like, hey, you need to sit down. Hey, you need to heal. Hey, you're sick. You're mentally, like you need to heal. Sit down. So if you don't sit down, guess what? Your body's going to force you to sit down. And that's when you go through that depression. Like, depression is not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? As long as you don't stay there for too long, like, your body's going to be like, hey, you're going to be depressed, and you don't have a choice but to sit here and figure out, like, what's going on with me? Like, what's wrong? So depression is fine as long as you don't stay there.
Look, I love that part right there. As long as you don't stay there. Because to me, I feel like on one of my episodes, I spoke about that. Don't get stuck in a spot. It's okay to, take a break. It's okay to rest for a minute. But as a great Eric Thomas loves to say, you can stay there for a week. But if I come back next week and you're still in that same spot, that's on you. You've allowed, you've allowed yourself to stay in that space. You let those memories, those thoughts, those negative connotations reside in your mind. So you're like, okay, that's how we get to the depression part. So like you said, rest, relax, recover, but get back up. You gotta keep going. Like, it's times in life where, you go through some stuff, you go through things that you didn't foresee. And it's like, dad, this got me down. I don't know how I'm gonna get over this hump. Let me just grab the ice cream out the freezer and just sit here and watch, 600-pound life or power for days at a time, and people get stuck there. To me, I don't get it, because it's like, for me, I have a mentality to keep going. It might be bad right now, but I keep going. So how do you force yourself to keep going?
That's where emotional intelligence come from, right? So I don't judge people for not being able to just get right up, right? Because that's something that has to be taught. That's something, well, some people are born with that, and some people have to be taught that, and some people have to go through experience just to get that. So one thing I had to learn that, everyone, they don't know. So don't try to hold them accountable, for something that they may not know. So
Yeah.
for me, like I used to be the person to just stay down. When I'm depressed, I'm depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And, no matter how many people would try to like uplift me, and no matter how many people would try to be like, hey, you can overcome this. If I didn't believe that.
Welcome back, good people. Sorry, little glitch. It happens, It is what it is. We back. So Miss Miosha, so now back to this mental health thing. So now let's say mental health. It has different aspects, okay? Different aspects. You got depression, you got anxiety, you got suicide, homicide, all this other stuff out here, stress. Have you ever hit any of those? Okay. Tell me about that.
I had all of them. Well, I'm not gonna say all of them, but I had majority of them. And I'm currently still dealing with my anxiety, and I do get depressed because depression, anxiety, and any other like things that you deal with mentally, it's just things that you went through in the past that you have not healed from. So for me, this period, now that I'm out the military, I'm really able to just tune in on myself and actually heal. But with healing, it comes unlearning that those mechanisms that you taught yourself to survive. Like it's unlearning those survival toxic tactics that you taught yourself. So that's like one of the hardest parts for me personally, because it's just like, dang, not only do I have to relearn myself, not only do I have to just figure out who I am, I have to unlearn those things too. So I still deal with the anxiety of, the military struggles, anxiety of my childhood trauma, anxiety of the world that we're living in right now, because it's very stressful. I know a lot of people have been dealing with anxiety because of, the things that we are currently going through in this world. And then anxiety is just the fear of the unknown. So we all have some type of anxiety. Some is just more severe than others. So, and depression, I hit those times often, but one thing that, keeps me going when I do, hit the depression, I realize that it's okay for me to be here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to fault myself for being depressed. I'm not going to fault myself for, being down. So I think that when we realize that it's okay to be depressed, like it's normal, like there's nothing wrong with you. Like you are depressed because you simply need to tune in on yourself more and heal. And that is okay. Yeah. And I think that for me, when I learned that it was okay, I was like, it's okay that I am here, but that made me want to even work harder to get out of, that depression. So it kind of just did something to me mentally and realized like, you're not in trouble for being here. Like a kid, you feel like you're in trouble for doing something. So you're hard on yourself, you're harder on yourself. And that's going to bring up more emotions. So when you realize like depression, it's okay for me to be here. So now it's time for me to figure out, why did I get here? So.
I love that. I love it. Because I've been there too. And, to understand that, like all those mental health, I don't want to call them disabilities, mental health concerns. Because depression, a lot of people fight that. Anxiety. It's different types of anxiety. I can't swim. So am I about to hop in a 6 feet pool? Absolutely not. We're gonna play footsie. Okay. So it's so much. And to me, I feel like once you get to that depression, that anxiety, and it builds up, like I talked about earlier, you get to the suicide and the homicide type of it. And that to me is very detrimental. So I don't like the word suicide or homicide, but to me, suicide is a long-term solution for a short-term problem. Now, a lot of people go through things, a lot of people fight through things, and they feel like they can't get over them, they can't get through them. You lose your house, your job, your car, your family, this, that, and the third. Those are temporary problems. All of that stuff, all of those things. Now, you can't replace people, of course, but everything that has been lost can be replaced. So to me, I look at it as sometimes we need things taken away from us for us to realize what we need to do differently. So
Right.
just I would take it, me being in an old relationship before, I had to actually lose that relationship to understand how to be Antonio, because I didn't know who Antonio was. And once I figured out who I was depressed, I was sad, didn't know what to do. It was cry for days. But once I realized and pulled myself out of that hole, it was like, okay, now I can actually see who I am, which is why I'm doing what I do now, you know? And like you said, like we talked about, it's okay to stay there for a moment, but make sure you get out of there. So
Gotta get out.
exactly. It's so much dealing with mental health in the mental health field, but you know, we just got to tackle it one day at a time, right? That's all we can do. That's all we can do. So today's episode, good people, the right mentality. I want to thank you so much, Miss Miosha, for coming on the right mentality today, talking about what mental health is to you. So if you would like to, you know, you want to tell the people where they can find you at.
I have Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. My Instagram and TikTok is Miosha Quinn. That's MIOSHA QUINN __. And that's for my Instagram and TikTok. And then my Facebook is just Miosha Quinn. So, and I want to thank you for having me on this podcast, and I appreciate everything you're doing. Absolutely. And thank you for letting me realize, like, I can get here, you know, because this is where this is where I want to be. Like, I want to be able to educate people. I want to be able to be on a platform where people can hear me and realize, like, the things that I've been through. And I just want to encourage them, like, I've been through it, you can get through it, you know? So that's important.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Absolutely. You know, I appreciate, hey, like I said, I appreciate you. It's collaboration. You know, we could do this again sometime, you know, because, you know,
of course,
psychology and therapy go together. So
I can learn a lot from you, of course.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So good people, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, catch us on Anchor. The right mentality. Always remember, keep the right mentality.